was something that really should be developed, because Keith came to me and said that here people were dying because of lack of facilities to dialyze them. And if we could set up a company that would provide dialysis on a mass basis, it would certainly be welcomed. Well, he came to me, we were discussing it, and of course the need for some seed money was obvious. And I was very agreeable to help when any way that I could to make this thing go, because I too was convinced very quickly that there was a place for dialysis clinics outside the hospital.
Well, this is really a very strong historical spot related to the initiation of DCI, because of course this was the place where many of the decisions, early on decisions, when we didn't know from one week to the next if we were or were not going to be able to stay in business. So we obviously started with a contribution from a foundation in New York, but we knew that that money, could run out, and we had to make darn sure that we were being careful and we were doing things in the right way. And this was a great place to come and have those discussions. This was sort of an ongoing kind of discussion, because we wanted to try to get money from any source that we possibly could. And we really didn't go to industry or anything like that to try to get contributions. But what we thought we'd try is to use, this is one of the buckets that we used, and we collected them from Kentucky Fried Chicken, a Kentucky Fried Chicken outlet which was very close to the clinic, and they were very kind to share the buckets, because I guess this was good free advertising along with the whole situation. So we would go out on Saturdays, and I would think that this probably started after we were dialyzing folks for about 6 months, something like that. And it was not an every Saturday, but periodically when patients could get off early enough, and when we had enough folks amongst the doctors, nurses, and administrative staff of the clinic that were willing to go out and stand in these, what was called a roadblock. And what this amounted to, you don't see many roadblocks these days because it's not an unhazardous situation. Because you find a busy intersection and you stand in the middle of the road with your Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket or a similar artifice in your hand, and usually a sign which explains what you're collecting money for. And as people come through the intersection, when the light turns red, they stop, and you just walk up and down by the cars, and if they want to contribute, they can do so. And we found actually that this was an amazingly useful way to collect money, and I think one Saturday in a couple of locations, maybe 3, we got $15,000, $20,000. So, and some people were truly generous. I mean, there were a lot of bucks and $5. Some people threw in 100. It was amazing. But we also found, interestingly, that it was, if we just went out and said we want to collect money to support a dialysis unit, that didn't really resonate very much. But if we went out with a bucket and a sign saying we want to find money to pay for Susie Jones's dialysis so that she can stay alive, that was when we really were much more successful. People were willing to contribute to help a fellow Tennessean, but not for the abstract concept of a dialysis unit, which they didn't, at that point in time, they didn't understand what a dialysis unit really was.
I don't believe anybody ever dreamed it would have developed into what it is today. It was just another facet of medicine, and the end-stage renal disease, while it was important, it was not one of the more popular problems of the time. No, I never dreamed it would develop into anything like what it's developed into today.